Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Gender and Development Studies, SOGS. Bachelor of Arts, Gender Studies, BAGS. Semester 4. BGS 01 to Gender Based Violence. Block 1 Theorizing Gender Based Violence. Unit 3 Violence Against Communities. 3.1 Introduction. Violence against women across diverse communities has prompted the policy regime to rethink about their perspectives on gender relations and communities, civil societal institutions, various forms of governance, and human rights have been collectively working to address the multifaced nature of such violence. Society needs to be reframed according to renewed, healthy perspectives and practices. Such an understanding can only address the larger questions related to stigma arises from gendered hierarchies and violence. In this unit, we will study about the nature of the conceptualization of violence. It also discusses about the perspectives on ethnic violence, social stratification, and so on. Further, it engages with the category of violence and its impact on communities. 3.2 Learning Outcomes. After studying this unit, you will be able to times learn about the conceptualization of violence, times understand the meaning of community, and times know about violence against communities. 3.3 Conceptualizing Violence. The World Health Organization, WHO, defines violence as the intentional use of physical force or power, threatened or actual, against oneself, another person, or against a group or communities, which either results in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, male development, or deprivation. Acts of violence against communities include, but are not limited to riots, shooter attacks, gang wars, drive-by shootings, bullying, workplace assaults, terrorist attacks, torture, bombings, war, ethnic cleansing, and widespread sexual, physical, and emotional abuse. The idea of violence is contested. Thomas Hobbes analyzed that people were by nature violent and evaded a war of all against all only by substantial cleverness and energy. Scott 2014, 91. Violence is also conceptualized as the product of effective socialization and social control. The category of aggression is studied in the context of violence. Violence of a subculture and the dominant sections are analyzed in different ways. Norm of violence deploys the force, like that in the use of masculinity. Violence is also justified in the case of the life world of the gangs. Violence is accepted in such cases. Scott 2014, 92. Violence is also justified in the debates related to the power of the political institutions. Scott 2014, 102. The hidden and secretive nature of violence is discussed in relation to the families. Scott 2014, 166. Male violence is criticized as the reason for the oppression of the women. Violence against women shows the gender inequalities and its embedded nature in power. Capacity to do violence is analyzed as part of the hegemonic masculinity. Adrian Rich analyzed misogyny as violence against the women. However, Irving Goffman analyzed violence as central category into day-to-day life. It is observed that some forms of violence against women such as sexualized violent approach to women is not considered as crime. Radford, cited in Pilcher and Imelda. 2004, 174. it is analyzed that men predominate across the spectrum of violence. Cannell, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 173. Women are afraid of the violent crime like rape. Simmons, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 173. Robert H. Lowy observed that state is developed through legitimacy, territoriality and means of violence. Lowy 1927. Centralization of means of violence is also used to study capitalism. Acts of collective violence have also become part of the current political systems across the world. Violence thus is linked to deviant behavior. Scott 2014. Thus, violence is theorized in multiple ways. Violence, for Jane Pilcher and Imelda Whalehan, refers to power in cultural and legal terms. It is observed that women's accounts of male violence are ignored and male's version of male violence is preferred in some of the legal systems. Lesson right, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 174, it becomes physical and emotional harm to others. Unlawful and lawful use of violence has raised lot of conceptual challenges across various disciplines. Scholars have discussed about the continuum of violence. Kelly and Radford, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. For instance, it includes the physical acts of murder, sexualized racialized use of language and rape. However, it is noted that normalization of the man's violent behavior is questioned among activists and academics. Masculine identity and different forms of violence, such as that of violence between boys and men, are reinforcing masculinity. Owen, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. Problematization of masculinity is central to contemporary women's studies. It has helped to foreground the policies related to international policies related to peace in the context of terrorism. Brains, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. Main's approach to violence against women have various meanings. Hearn, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. Violence is represented in films and media in different ways. Hattie, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. Violence towards women is also studied through its cultural interpretations. Body, cited in Pilcher and Imelda 2004, 175. Civil disobedience refers to non-violent approaches and practices. Anti-immigration politics has strengthened the various forms of violence against the communities. According to Javier Alcald, Anglo-American pacifism has also opposed violence by linking by advocacy of personal non-participation in war by using non-violent means. Alcald 2013. Violence against oneself has raised various debates related to self, identity, social body and its location within the larger political milieu. Violence against others have initiated various debates on the relations between communities and individuals. In this section, we have studied about basic concept of violence. Let us study about community in the next section. 3.4 Defining community. There are different debates related to the idea of communities in social sciences. Such social science accounts have impacted the research on violence that emanates through caste and communalism. The idea of community refers to ideal and political arena that is enriched by care and friendship among human beings. One of the important principles of French Revolution, fraternity is linked to the fundamental debates on French Revolution. Ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity related to French Revolution have also enriched the perspectives on community. Definitional approaches related to the community demonstrate the history of such idea. Idea of community refers to a group that survives on basis of mutual relations of its members. It is argued that a community has to transcend beyond the rudimentary social barriers. As a group, community provides certain cohesive frame to the society. Idea of the community determines the nature and existence of a group. It has to differentiate itself from the conflictual traps that are usually linked to a community. A community need to embrace the great values and it enable them to overcome narrow understanding of the political system. A community can survive without enforced obligations is considered as one of the essential perspectives on community. Social scientists observed certain typologies related to community like in that of tribal social spaces and extended type of family. The conventional form of community has changed after the introduction of modern political organizations remains as an important debate in the field of social sciences. The pre-state nature of the community had its own institutions. The central question raised is whether community has transformed with the advent of the state or not. Common good of the community needs to be explored with the other dimensions of the community. It is analyzed that common good refers to the identification of the individual. Community is the collection of individuals that share values and experiences. It has to be situated within the meaningful dialogues and collective reflections. Politics also is based on community-based exchange. Robertson, 1993, 96-97. Community thrives on distinct form of solidarity. Parsons, cited in Marshall 2004, 97. Morals act as the core to the emergence of a community. Relations between human beings operate as the basis of any community. The migration from the rural to the urban areas also question the homogeneous understanding on community. According to Ferdinand Tönnies, the idea of community can be understood through the categories such as Gemeinschaft, community, and Gesellschaft, society. Association is part of Gesellschaft. It is conceptualized that Gemeinschaft signified plural voices, social mobility, mechanization and mobility. Marshall 2004 to 49-50. Community is based on the communication. The idea of community includes villages and urban areas. Marshall 2004, 97. Social harmony is the integral part of the community. Modern capitalist establishment, for Émile Durkheim, determined the nature social division of the people. According to Durkheim, social solidarity has to be understood as part of the division of labor. Durkheim theorized social solidarity as totality of beliefs and sentiments common to the average members of the society. Durkheim, cited in Adams and Sidi, 2002, 93. Collective consciousness emerges through the overall nature of the society and the division of labor. Mechanical solidarity and organic solidarity are the important Durkheim categories. Those categories are important while discussing about the idea of community. Mechanical solidarity thrives on minimal individuality. Mechanical solidarity in primitive society exists in the absence of individuality. Durkheim, cited in Adams and Sides, 2002, 94, Collective consciousness is also influenced by the religion. Specialization and individuality determine the nature of organic solidarity. Durkheim, cited in Adams and Saidi's 2002, 94. Community also has certain symbolic power. Hegemonic values are used to deal in the case of the care and needs of the members in the society. Nation-state operates on the basis of these societal transformations. Marshall, 2004, 98. Polarization and mutual agreement are part of the mechanism of the religion. Post 9/11 social political transformations reveal the contours of religion. Mahajan, 2010, 1. Social capital or the various networks across the communities is affected by the moral decay and politicization centered around the religion. Putnam, cited in Mahajan, 2010, 2. Voluntary organizations are emerging through the various channels of the church. Barber, cited in Mahajan, 2010, 2. Clashes of cultures became central by replacing the earlier forms of conflicts among the countries. Huntington, cited in Mahajan, 2010, 3. Conflicts that emerged through the Christian and Islamic assertions related to the Twin Towers in America have redefined the notions of insider and outsider related to the community. Mahajan, 2010, 3. Thus, political and religious transformations have impacted the idea of community. Debates related to the religion in India have determined the political discourse in multiple ways. Intellectuals who were part of the debates on constitution analyzed the religion in different ways. Ethical concerns related to the religion were very much part of such understanding. Another way of understanding religion as a sociological phenomenon was part of the perspectives of such intellectuals. Mahajan, 2010, p.9. Moral dimensions of the religion were part of such understanding. And the polarization based on communal identities were also analyzed. Community is central in determining the ideology and practices related to communalism. Language, religion, and ethnicity in the development of a society are appropriated by the communal forces. Robertson, 1993-92. Communalism have created major polarization across the country. There are groups that suggest interfaith discourses as a mode to detach from the communal ideologies. Secular nature of the nation also challenged due to the retrogressive global religious identity politics. It is analyzed that a state grounded in secular values has the potential to annihilate the reactionary ideologies related to the religion. Robertson, 1993, 432-433. Communal groups also appropriate social movements. Post-secular societies were secular in the past. Liberal, Western societies, for Mahajan, are moving towards the religion. In this section, you have studied about the diverse debates related to community and its changing socio-political character. The next section discusses about the relations between the gender, patriarchy and violence. 3.5 Gender, Patriarchy and Violence. In the Unit 1, you have already read about patriarchy and violence. This Section 2 revisits those debates and ideas in the context of gender, patriarchy and violence. The idea of patriarchy is contested. Garda Lerner analyzed that the day-to-day life of men and women prune the patriarchy and it took long period to emerge in its form. It is observed that the basic unit of its organization was the patriarchal family, which both expresses and constantly generates its rules and values. Lerner, 1986 to 12. Social roles are influenced by the tradition, laws, gendered roles, performances in the societal order. Lerner analyzes the various dimensions related to the agricultural process in the Neolithic period to that of the intertribal exchange of women. This kind of social transformation led to proliferation of marriage and consequential rise in the reproduction. Those people turned to be the surplus labor for the hunting and gatherers society. It led to the excessive production and surplus accumulation through the overpopulation of children and women. Men thus maintained the group rights over the women. Women were devoid of any right over the men. It is further analyzed that women thus turned to be a resource. It was like the land controlled by the men. These power relations can be understood through the institutions of marriage and family. Women were exchanged within the families as part of the marriage. It resulted in sexual indebtedness and everyday forms of labor. Lerner demonstrates the development of master-slave relations in the early tribal society. Class and patriarchy also are instrumental in strengthening the patriarchy. Poor families had to sell their daughters in marriages linked prostitution to regulate the economic status of the family in Mesopotamian society in 2nd millennium BC. Lerner, 1986, p.213. These forms of exploitation are very much part of the contemporary neoliberal societies across the globe. Engels analyzed that labor and economy as arenas of exclusion, dominance, and sidling of the women from the dominant society. Engels also thought about the political ways to overthrow the oppressive systems related to the lives of women. Class and gender oppress the women in peculiar ways. Those societal forms related of class and gender legitimize the oppressed status of the women. Engels, 1884. Culture of patriarchy also created the stereotypes of the ideal womanhood to justify the oppression of women in subtle ways. According to Karen Sachs, evolutionary Engelsian approach failed to analyze the oppression of the women in the societies that were not based on class relations. Sachs critiqued the position of Engels by demonstrating that women were property holders in societies that were not based on class. There are diverse interpretations related to the category of patriarchy. Patriarchy, for Heidi Hartman, is set of social relations between men, which have a material base and which, though hierarchical, establish or create interdependence and solidarity among men that enable them to dominate women. Though patriarchy is hierarchical and men of different classes, races, or ethnic groups have different places in the patriarchy, they are also united in their shared relationship of dominance over women, and they are dependent on each other to maintain that domination. Hartman, 1981, 107. She further analyzes the patriarchy by showing how it positions the superiority of women and how patriarchy defends the oppression of women. Such vicious societal order denies the intellectual capability of the women. It leads to the imposition of the domestic chores in the lives of the women. It further leads to the subversion of her individuality. Patriarchy, for Kate Millett, is part of the various dimensions of human life and related sexual division. Women are thus forced to be subjugated through such sexual division. Political framework of civilization, for Millett, is instrumental in determining the privilege of the men. Milet compared such societal order to that of patriarchal order. She probes the reasons behind the dominance of men in the discourse of the ideological and repressive facets of the nation state. These social and political changes established the hierarchy of men as natural and pushed women to the exclusive realms of domestic life. Women and youngsters therefore are subjugated in the patriarchal order. Milet also examined how socialization in childhood and education nurture the culture of patriarchy. Patriarchy, for Milet, is the rudimentary part of the social systems. Across the globe, rape is the primitive sexual violence that emanated part of the patriarchal society. Scholars have analyzed the existence of the patriarchy at the level of the societal ideology. Such ideological aspect of patriarchy determines the sexist and gendered social spaces. Juliet Mitchell examines how the ideological realm of patriarchy operate in the society. Hartman critiques Juliet Mitchell's lack of understanding related to the economic forces affiliated with the patriarchal societal order. Patriarchy thus is analyzed through the diverse spaces connected to it. Debates on public and private patriarchies emerged in such context of theorization. Sylvia Walby analyzes how patriarchy works in paid forms of employment, the melee, violence, the political institutions, family, sexuality, and culture. These arenas determine the ideological character of patriarchy. Sylvia Walby asserted that gendered forms of power operate through the paid and unpaid forms of employment. Women are getting less remuneration to such division of labor. Women thus are pushed to the secondary position in the society. They are considered as incompetent when compared to women in the case of work. They are thus sidelined into gendered roles related to family. Their hard work is not appreciated like in the case of men. Culture of patriarchy operates at every level of the lives of women. Market also deploys the ideological spaces of patriarchy. Capitalist appropriation of labor is one of the important themes of Marxist feminists. Sexuality and violence, for radical feminists, are responsible for the oppression of women. Functionalist approaches analyze the role of household in the context of patriarchy. According to Sylvia Walby, private patriarchy happens through the control over individual moves to that of the public patriarchy. Patriarchy develops through the ideological and structural realms of the domestic spaces. Another scholar who provided valuable insights on patriarchy is Valerie Bryson. According to Valerie Bryson, patriarchy is one of the key terms in radical feminism. Radical feminists show how patriarchy has captured the public and private realms. Family in the realm of kinship is also studied in the context of the category of ideological state apparatus. Gendered duties based on sex roles create polarization and also decides the further dynamics of the family. Shulamit Firestone, one of the renowned radical feminists, emphasized on the exploitative nature of the reproduction and household. Sexual exploitation of the wives in the absence of the wives is also contested. Household and gender determine the pregnancy, menstruation, offsprings, etc., and it forced the women to surrender to the rule of the men. Radical feminists argued that scientific and technological innovations in the case of reproduction can challenge the patriarchal oppression of women. On the contrary, some among the radical position foregrounded the relevance of motherhood irrespective of its oppressive nature, and children cannot be seen as part of the patriarchy. Logic of patriarchy and consequential repression of sexuality are much debated within the theoretical wider spheres of radical feminism. Marxian feminists have constantly questioned the interlinkages of gender, class, capitalism, and patriarchy. Women are read as the oppressed sections in the field of the family. They are also oppressed in the external field of labor. Various forms of subsistence and related labor get complicated in the era of a capitalism. Therefore, feminist scholars also probed about the sex-blind nature of capitalism, mode of production, and its impact on the gendered power relations are central to the Marxian feminist discourses. Logic of patriarchy is interpolated through the social political existence of women. The body of the women becomes the locus of patriarchy. Michel Foucault observed that discipline is central in the reproduction of gendered oppression. Bartkey, 2012, 305. Those bodily stages detract them from thinking and acting against patriarchy. A kind of self-surveillance thus engulfs women and strengthens patriarchy. Bartkey, 2012, 310. Societies that have achieved social and political equality too reproduce patriarchy in strange manner. Paradox of those types are very much part of the ideological perspectives and practices around class and gender. The ideologies that emphasize that class-based oppression needs to be addressed as a pretext to address the gendered oppression resulted in certain theoretical and ideological complexities. Let us study about the aforementioned debates in relation to ideas on caste and gender. Dalit feminists in India challenge the partial understanding of hegemonic Indian feminism. Dalit feminists analyze the relations of caste, patriarchy within the Dalits, and the patriarchy in the larger caste-based society. Non-Dalit men and non-Dalit women. Dalit men are considered as the oppressors of the Dalit women. In addition to that oppression, it is analyzed that Dalit women are oppressed by other, dominant castemen women. Guru, 1995, Rege, 1998, Uma Chakravarti analyzed the complex nature of class, gender, and caste and argued that class, caste, and gender are inextricably linked, they interact with and shape each other. The structure of marriage, sexuality, and reproduction is the fundamental basis of the caste system. It is also fundamental to the ways inequality is sustained. The structure of marriage reproduces both class and caste inequality, and thus the entire production system through its tightly controlled system of reproduction. Chakravarti, 206-27. You have learnt the relations of caste and endogamy. Caste and its pernicious forms operate in the rural and urban areas in the midst of the legal interventions via Constitution Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. Caste operates in the form of day-to-day discrimination. It also operates in the form of direct violence. Caste-based atrocities are part of the changing Indian society. Economic monopoly of the upper castes determines their dominance. It further leads to various forms of caste-based violence against those who are at the lower part of the caste hierarchy. Social mobility of the Dalits is thus blocked through the vicious solidarity between the dominant caste social and bureaucratic order. To know such complex social issues and violence against communities such as Dalits, you will read about caste and violence in Unit 11 in detailed manner. The next section discusses about the nature of ethnic violence. 3.6 Ethnic violence. Individuals who understand themselves and recognize others constitute particular ethnicity. They are different from one another in the society. They emphasize their own ethnicities. Ethnic groups differentiate themselves from others through foregrounding their religion, language, and culture. They are different from social classes. They are part of certain social stratifications. Social discrimination is deployed as a yardstick to analyze the distinct nature of the ethnic group. Identities across ethnic groups show the complex functions of such groups. Violence is also central to the social areas of the ethnic communities. Injury and destruction are created through the act of violence. Structural violence determines the intended and unintended consequences due to the strange mental stage of the members of ethnic groups. Family and industrial spaces are the structures that hide the form of violence ingrained across a community. Thus, it denotes the systems that reproduce structural violence. There are diverse interpretations to violence. Certain forms of violence are romanticized by certain community and certain forms of violence are condemned by another community. One needs to know the conceptual nuances related to the category of violence before delving into the larger questions of ethnic violence. It is important to understand the context that perpetuates the violence. For instance, femicide is analyzed as a common in the Guatemala. It is recorded that 5,000 girls and women were killed there since 2000. Diana Russell, one of the renowned sociologists, introduced the term feminicide in the 1970s. Femicide, for Diana Russell, denotes the gendered nature of the terror activities that lead to socially accepted or regulated murder. Diana Russell analyzed it as killing of females by male because they are females. It is a continuum of the patriarchal, oppressive, gendered social order. Russell and Gill, 1992. Patriarchal military and political systems cum judiciary of Guatemala legitimized such primitive forms of violence against women. It is also justified through the patriarchal customary rights as well. Mayan community, for instance, regards the hitting of women by men as their right. These instances show the strange ways that interlink patriarchy, gender, ethnicity, and violence. Elders who ask the newly married husbands to control their wives among Mayan communities. Such act is customary in nature. These forms of anti-women practices question the citizenship and rights of the women. Uma Narayanan, a feminist scholar, deployed the category of death by culture to refer to the culturally driven violence against the women. Narayan, 1997. Another scholar, Susan O'Keen, described the such violence against women as something in household that challenges choices, well-being, and lives. It is analyzed that Tajik and Afghan women face brutal forms of patriarchal oppression. It is critiqued that the Western countries eroticize the oppression of women in such countries. Women in certain countries are facing surveillance or they are pushed into asylum. Capitalism and labor relations in Guyana determine the oppression of women. Racial conflicts in Guyana also increase the violence against the women. War-linked sexual crimes against women also raise serious issues related various ethnicities. Ethnic cleansing cum patriarchy creates stereotypes about the character of women. Sexual oppression of Bosnian women shows the barbaric nature of gendered political crimes. Children who are born out of war-linked exploited sexual exploitation are called as children of shame in Kosovo. These crimes demonstrate the relations of ethnicity and gendered sexual violence. Catherine Mackinnon analyzed rape with that of genocide. Race-driven war and rape as the instrument of war, for Mackinnon, leads to forced reproduction. Allen criticized the forced impregnation as biological warfare that is prohibited under Article 3 of the International Tribunal as a violation of the laws or customs of war. It is analyzed that killing of Kurdish women as the cultural political practice linked to Kurdish nationalism. One of the crucial questions raised in this context is that whether human security is gendered or not, and it is devoid of any perspective that recognizes the issues of women. The violence against the women that also happen in the class, families, and communities also need to be addressed. Women are usually analyzed as actors in the case of the ethnic violence. They are victims as well. For instance, gendered violence in Timor-Leste is legitimized through the patriarchal community. It is justified through the culture and language. Women thus are subjected to forced conversion and loss of identity as well. Their oppression thus is not addressed in the larger context of the culture of violence related to the community. 3.7 Summary. In this unit, you have studied the various debates related to the category of patriarchy. It further explores the violence inherent in such patriarchal, gendered social stratifications. It also analyzes the various forms of gendered violence through caste, race, and ethnicity. It also analyzes the larger political context of the community that does not challenge the violence of the community against women. It also discusses about the social political establishment that legitimize such gendered forms of violence and culture of othering.